Game on, everybody, and welcome to another video. And in this video we will be discussing the top 5 cards per ink in Archazia's Island. First and foremost, I just do want to give a quick shout out to all my supporters. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers, because your contribution is able to support me to create more consistent content. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on this video if you guys do enjoy this video, because that also assists me with the engagement. If you guys are interested in any of these cards that I showcased today, please consider using my TCG player affiliate link in the description box below, and any small interaction goes a long way, so thank you again. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and talk about Amber. So you'll notice this set is the introduction of dual color cards. So there's less of monocolor cards, and so moving forward will basically be showcasing what I think cards are the best per color. If it has that color represented. So we have Pascal, the Garden Chameleon. He is a 4-cost uninkable 3/3 quest for 3 and has evasive. So he is what I would consider the top end aggro for the aggro style decks. Yet though, it's another uninkable card in a deck full of uninkables. So pick your battles, but I think this is still a pretty good card. Next, we have the Family Magical. It's an action song, cost 5, and what this card does is it looks at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you may reveal up to 1 magical card and up to 1 song, and then put them into your hand, and then put the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. This is kind of like an aerial that kind of filters through, but it adds up to 2 cards, and it's just a very good card that adds consistency, but it's very specific to the magical deck. So I mean, you'll only really be playing it in one specific deck, but it's still a good card because it adds consistency to that archetype. And then speaking of a card that helps with that, so we have Mirabelle Madrigal. She is a 3 inkable card, 1 strength, 3 willpower, evasive, singer 5. So that is her pros. She is an evasive character that can sing 5. But the only downside is that there's literally only 1 card that costs 5. In this color pairing, and I think they're building this out to be like more support coming in the future. In the next set, we already saw some information about the next set, the Jafar's Return, I believe that's what it's called, and it features Bruno on one of the boxes. So there's more support to come, and they have something planned for this. So this is more future proofing it. It's just I mean, this is a good card, but it's limited to its color pairing. And for people who don't know, is that because this is an Amber Amethyst card, you can only play this card in that color pairing. So you can play it, you could not play it in like Amber or in a Steel Song deck, because that's Amber and Steel. Because this has 2 colors, it's always going to be locked to that color type. You can't play a deck containing more than 2 colors. Anyways, minor tangent. Let's talk about a mono Amber card. So this is a 4-cost inkable card. It's Snow White, Fairest in the Land. It is 2 strength, 2 willpower, and has the ability that's hidden away. This character can't be challenged in a quest for 2. So it's basically just going to be a free quester, and it's a princess card. So princess cards always have that like really good keyword. The cons is that it's slightly understated, but you're not really going to be using this card for challenging. And because it can't be challenged, it's not really that to me doesn't really matter. Alternative removal does exist though, so you're not really just kind of questing for free, but there's options to get rid of it. So that's the minor caveat there. But the best Amber card in my opinion is this Aurora Waking Beauty. It's a 3-cost inkable card, 1 strength, 4 willpower, singer 5. Amazing. And has the ability Sweet Dreams. Whenever you remove 1 or more damage from a character, any character, ready this character, she can't quest or challenge for the rest of this turn. So it being a 4 willpower body is very likely to sing a song, and it forces hard removal. And by hard removal, that would be like Along Came Zeus in like the Amber Steel mirror match, or of course the whole is susceptible to Medusa. But this is one of the few cards that has the potential to I think maybe actually the only card, unless you count the Ursula, anyways, potential to double sing, because you can sing a song and then heal up to or remove 1 damage, or remove 1 or more damage from a character. It readies back up, and then you can sing again. So this also has like play curve with Rapunzel, gifted with healing. So you can get basically 2 lore and then re-ready, and then because you can't quest with it, I mean, you already got the value off of it, so there's a lot of value in this card. So for cons, I couldn't quite think of a con, so let me know in the comments section below what you guys think. And then on to Amethyst, we have This Is My Family. It's a 2-cost uninkable action song, and it says gain 1 lore, draw a card. So it's a +1 that replaces itself, that could potentially be played for free if you sing it. Con, it's uninkable, but it's going in a very specific deck, so I think this is a decent card. Another great card, I am very excited because one of my so Amber Steel is my favorite deck combination always, but I do have guilty pleasures, and Sapphire or Amethyst Sapphire is one of my guilty pleasures of playing, and I also do enjoy playing Emerald Sapphire. Don't judge me, but like I just love playing really like interesting decks. But back to the topic. So Amethyst, Merlin Clairvoyant. It's a 1-cost inkable card, 0 strength, 1 willpower, and it has the effect where it says whenever this character quests, name a card, then reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a name card, you put it into your inkwell face down and exert it. Otherwise, put it on the top of your deck. So this is now the best shift target to search anything in your deck, because if you play it in the Amethyst Sapphire deck, you could play this and the Merlin shift for a total of 6 ink to search your deck for anything, which is great. And then again, the only con is that it's limited to Amethyst Sapphire, probably for its own good for the time being. They're really afraid to kind of print something that's a 1-cost Merlin to shift off, and now we no longer have to shift on top of our rabbits or goats to search our deck. I was probably the only one really playing it, but if you guys were playing this, playing the Shift Merlin search your deck for anything, let me know, because I felt like I was pretty alone on that. Still think it's a great card. Anyways, another Amethyst card that I am kind of excited to see is this Donald Duck Flustered Sorcerer. It's a 7-cost uninkable, 5 strength, 6 willpower, and it has the effect of Obfuscate. Opponent needs 25 lore to win the game. So when this is on the board, it now requires your opponents to have 25 lore to win the game, like it says, and it also quests for 3, so pretty good. But I really don't think you'd be questing out with this until you can kind of confirm that you have game yourself. So I could potentially buy you an extra turn. Some con is that it's uninkable, and removal does exist. Of course, that's for any card, but for this one in particular is that if your opponent's over 20 but they need 25, but they remove this, they have met the requirement to win the game, because in Lorcana it requires you to have 20 lore in order to win the game. And then another great Amethyst card that I enjoyed is the Queen Jealous Beauty, a 4-cost inkable card that with 4 strength, 3 willpower, has the ability No Ordinary Apple. It's exert this card, choose 3 cards from the chosen opponent's discard, and then put them to the bottom of their deck to gain 3 lore. And if any cards, any princess cards were moved this way, gain 4 lore instead. So it's discard disruption with an upside for you. Some cons is that it requires 3 cards to be in your opponent's discard, but I think that's really great, just because like with the more aggro style decks out in Amber with the Lilo Escape Artist, you can just basically put that to the bottom of your opponent's deck, and like they are never going to be able to get those cards ever, unless I guess maybe they find a way to shuffle, but the shuffling your deck is pretty rare in Disney Lorcana. Another great card that I want to talk about is Show Me More. It is a 2-cost action uninkable, and it says each player draws 3 cards. So this is great for aggro strategy decks. The only con I could think, a few cons that I can think of, is that it's uninkable, and it can give your it gives card advantage to your opponent. So I mean, I don't really think that matters for an aggro deck, because it's all about just racing, and it's like you can't even use those cards, and I'm going for this game. So I think this is a fantastic card. But we're going to move over to Emerald, and what we have here is a 5-cost action, unfortunately not a song, is the Return of Hercules. Each player may reveal a character card from their hand and play for free. So anytime a card that mentions play for free, it always must be considered playable, just to like, I recommend just playing it and testing with it. Just because like that upside is fantastic, and you can make favorable trades, but the con is that it might not always work out in your favor all the time. But I think this would be great for especially decks that care about actions. I think there's some exploration that can be tested in the Ruby Emerald decks, just because the whole like there's that like action matters kinds of decks, and that seems to exist there. And they have really great bodies in there, like Maleficent Dragon. You can play this card, reveal Maleficent Dragon on your from your hand, and whatever they play, it doesn't even matter, because Maleficent Dragon on play effect will go into the bag, and you would be able to remove that character that was just played for free on their end, and you just basically played a 9 cost character for 5 ink instead. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about an Emerald Ruby card here. So Queen of Hearts, Unpredictable Bully, 5 cost uninkable. It's an Emerald card, so most of the time they're always going to be uninkable. That's kind of how they keep those in check. But it has a shift 3. And if the ability is, if I lose my temper, whenever another character is played, put a damage counter on them. And it also quests for 2 and has 2 strength and 6 willpower. So I'm pretty sure those are really good stat lines, especially for a shift 3. And this does play around resist keywords, but it affects all characters, not just opponents. So that was the only downside that I can think of. But great art, by the way. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. But ultimately, I think this card could see play, and there's a clear deck to be built around with this color combo. If you also enjoy Alice in Wonderland, this is definitely right up your alley. So another Emerald card that I want to talk about, but this one is Emerald Sapphire, is Ink Geyser. 3 cost uninkable, of course, uninkable, but it has a very powerful effect. So each player exerts all cards in their inkwell. Then each player with more than 3 cards in their inkwell returns cards at random from their inkwell to their hand until they have 3 cards in their inkwell. So this is what's considered resource destruction, and historically across multiple games, it is very powerful. It is limited to Emerald Sapphire, probably for its own good, but I think there's definitely a deck that can use this, because if you're playing a deck that only really kind of, I mean, like in Sapphire, you can regain like more than just 3 resources. And it's basically, you're kind of just putting these cards away for later and really disrupting your opponent. So I think this card has good potential, but I can't say for certain. Like we'll just have to see. I can see some play with this card. I just haven't quite lived it out. Like I said, it's one of my favorite color pairings. It's one of my guilty pleasures, but it's a very hard color pairing to kind of boost up. But yeah, let's move on to the next card, another Emerald Sapphire card. So it is a Yokai Intellectual Schemer, 2 cost inkable card, 1 strength, 2 willpower. Has the effect of innovate. You pay 1 less ink to play characters using their shift ability, and this ability stacks. So the more copies you have of this, the more cost reduction it is for you to play. And this color pairing surprisingly has a lot of shift targets, so it could really help snowball that that color pairing. But I think that color pairing is still having an identity crisis of what it wants to do. But I think this is kind of giving more insight, considering that in the lore that Archazia is an Emerald Sapphire Illumineer. So like I said, pros, ability stacks, cons, no ward, and it's an understat character. So it's like one of those cards where like you don't really want to quest because you want the value off of like it just being on board turn over turn. But once you've exhausted all that value, then I guess you can start questing it. I don't know, I'm just trying to think out loud for this specific card. And then another great card though, in my opinion, is this Baymax Giant Robot. It's a 6 cost uninkable, 5 strength, 5 willpower, but it has the unique ability of Universal Shift 4. So you may pay 4 ink to play this on top of any one of your characters, and functionality improved. When you play this character and you use shift to play him, remove all damage from him. So really fantastic, and a quest for 2. So it has the Universal Shift. I think that's a very powerful effect. It's only exist on this one card. Con, it's uninkable, but I mean it's shiftable on anything, and in this color pairing you can really get to 6 or to 4 ink really quickly, and it turns any card into a 2 quester and a 5/5 body. Like, that's really good. Moving on to Ruby again. Most people know me, I don't really typically play Ruby, but Excuse me. So most people know me, I don't play Ruby. That's not really one of my favorite color pairings. I think it's actually very weak, and a lot of colors just kind of boost it up. So this is Devil's Eye Diamond. It's an item, 2-cost inkable card, and it has the effect of exert. If one of your characters was damaged this turn, gain a lore. So I mean, it's passive lore, and it's food for Hero and Flavisham, a toy maker, but I am pretty sure better cards exist, like this one. Barely, right? Like I said, Ruby is not really my best color pairing, so I might be a little biased on this, and if you guys have better examples. Oh, I just noticed this is a typo. Anyways, just under my cons. Anyways, so unconventional tool. It's a 1-cost inkable card item, and when this card is banished, you can pay 2 ink for less for the next item you play. So there is good potential there. So you basically play this card, play Flavisham on the following turns, or even on the same turn, and then you get to play 2 less. Like you get a discount, right? So some cons. I feel like there's way better 1-drops already in the items for Flavisham. I don't know if you really play this in Ruby Sapphire. I guess we'll just have to see. There's people who are, I mean, there's other effects that we'll talk about that are get you to play cards for free. So but let's go ahead and talk about Lyle Tiberius Rourke, the Crystallized Mercenary. It is an 8-cost inkable card, 6 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 3. With the effect of explosive, once during your turn, whenever a card is put into your ink will, deal 2 damage to each character in play. So this is a great trade potential to create X for 1, 2 for 1, 3 for 1s, depending on how wide this board goes. Anti-aggro, but I mean, like it's 8-cost ink, so maybe not, right? Because aggro's probably already won the game by then. So cons, it's only once per turn and only during your turn, and forgot to also mention that it damages each character in play, so including yours. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting card, that's for sure. I'll say about that. Really cool card though. I do love these. Like, I'm a sucker for off meta decks, or potential rogue decks, or unexplored decks is kind of how I'll put it nicely. So pros for well, let's talk about the card. Mulan Imperial General, 7-cost inkable card, 5 strength, 6 willpower, shift 5, evasive, crazy, considering another card we'll talk about soon, and it has the effect of exceptional leader. Whenever this character challenges another character, your other characters gain. This character can challenge rated characters this turn. So other characters gain, like, that's everything else on the board. Awesome. So can challenge basically any character because it has the evasive keyword, and super great for the challenge matters synergy. My con though is that I think it might be too costly. Even with the shift 5, I feel like that might be too late. I don't know. Like I said, I don't play Ruby. Steel part though is interesting to me. But I know this is a fantastic card already. So we have Mushu. Finally got Mushu. Mushu Majestic Dragon, Ruby Steel, 5-cost inkable card, 4 strength, 4 willpower. Has 2 effects: intimidating and awe-inspiring. Whenever one of your characters challenges, they gain resist 2 during that challenge, so it's all your characters. And then Guardians of Lost Soul, during your turn, whenever one of your character banishes another character in a challenge, gain 2 lore. So again, challenge matters, deck synergy, and makes all characters into basically the Robin Hood Champion of Sherwood. So while you're clearing the board, because usually the downside of, like, when I'm challenging, I'm not questing to progress my lore total. This fixes that. Con, I had to put that it's just understated because it is, but like, what a great card for the color combo. On to Sapphire, by far the most broken color pairing, or color for this set. It only kind of gets better from this point for Sapphire anyway. So we have Baymax Upgraded Robot, 5-cost inkable card, 3 strength, 5 willpower, with support. Could be relevant, and at least for this card, just because it's nicely statted, I'll put it, with the support ability to piggyback anything with support and a good effect such as this. So it's Advanced Scanner. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Floodborn card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's great for finding your shift targets that you're missing. But I think it might actually be too high of a cost for that payoff. But yeah, it might be good for Emerald. I don't know if any other deck would play this. Like I said, I feel like it's underexplored, and we just have to kind of see it. Trust me, it only gets better from here. For example, this Lady Cluck, Protective Confident, 5 cost, inkable, 2 strength, 7 willpower with the bodyguard keyword and the ward keyword, quest for 1. This is one of the best cards, I think, for Sapphire Steel, just because it almost guarantees you that you're going to be able to sing a whole new world for that specific variant of deck if you play that variant. The only con I can think of is that like the 5 spot is like so overpopulated, and this is really comparable to Cogsworth Grandfather Clock, but I don't know if it replaces it completely. So it would require some testing on my side, but I saw this card and I was like, oh my gosh, amazing. It's a good singer that can basically survive almost anything. So on to one of the more broken cards of this set, in my opinion, is Tamatoa, Happy as a Clam, 6 cost, inkable card for some reason, 4 strength, 5 willpower. It has 2 effects, and quest for 2. So when you play this coolest collection, when you play this character, return up to 2 item cards from your discard to your hand. So if I whole new world a lot of my hand into the trash, and it's like, oh no, my valuable items, how will I ever get those? Well, I mean, I could just play this character and get 2 for free. And then it also has the effect of I'm Beautiful Baby. Whenever this character quests, you may play an item for free. So the items that I just retrieved from my discard, I quest with this, gain 2 lore, play Lucky Dime for free. I saved myself 7 ink, pay ink, target him, get another 2 lore, or whatever cool Sapphire card that's on the board, right? Or Big Tamatoa, even then. So return cards from your discard and play an item for free. Broken. I couldn't even think of a con for this. So let me know in the comments. Another great card is the Sapphire Coil item, 2 cost, inkable, has the effect Brilliant Shine. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may give chosen character -2 strength this turn. It is not once per turn. That is crazy in a deck. Like, I was reading a lot of these cards that say like whenever you put a card into your inkwell, it was like once per turn. This card, for whatever reason, you know what, correct me if I'm wrong, but like most cards that I read, maybe all the coils don't, I didn't really like kind of look at them too deeply, because I read this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best coil in the game. So not once per turn in a color pairing that can ink multiple times per turn, and then follow up with like a C-suit. Crazy. So not once per turn, but I think in some scenarios I don't really like Ice Block, but like Ice Block is at least on curve, and like a food you don't mind like eating with Flavisham. I don't know, like this card you don't play it on curve because you're going basically 2 inks per turn. I don't know. So food for thought. I still think it's a great card though. But probably the best Sapphire card in the game for this set is Belle Apprentice Inventor, 3 cost, inkable card for some reason. Quest, or 3 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1, and it's has the effect What a Mess. During your turn, you may banish chosen item of yours to play this character for free. Turn 1, Popsicle or Fortisphere, or even the unconventional tool. What is it? The Ruby 1 cost. Play it for 1 ink. Banish it. Play her for free. Turn 1, you just played a 3 cost, like 3 cost character on turn 1. And then on follow up, I mean the stats are crazy too. And then on follow up, you can just sing a song. So you tell me what the con is of this card is. It's fantastic. I'm gonna play it in Emerald. I'm gonna play it in Ruby. If I decide to play Ruby, yeah, it's going in there. I'm gonna play this in any deck that has Belle and a good shift target. Like, this is amazing. So moving on to steel though, we have Mulan, Disguised Soldier, 1 cost, inkable card, 2 strength, 1 willpower, and has the effect of where do I sign? When you play this card, character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So great shift card, or shift target. Good stat for early game because you'll be using it to basically make trades against low cost characters, and it's an optional filter card effect. So the fact that it has great shift potential kind of already like is good. Like if you're looking for a specific early game combo piece, you typically mulligan for it, and if you didn't find it, okay, then I'm using this to try to find whatever I'm missing. So Con, let me know in the comments down below. I promise that's the last one here for that request. But we're gonna move on to a true Steel Song card. We have the Troubadour, a musical narrator, 2 cost, inkable card, 1 strength, 3 willpower with resist 1 and singer 4, quest for 1. Pros: this potentially replaces Ursula Vanessa if still played at all. Cons though is that it's technically 1 less willpower than Ursula Vanessa, but the resist 1 kind of makes up for that. So I know when we were playing Vanessa, that was a great card. Ursula Vanessa, that's a great card for like the mirror match. So I think this is a great card. Steel Song best deck. Speaking of another steel card though, we have Giant Cobra, Ghostly Serpent, 3 cost, inkable card, 4 strength, 4 willpower, and has the keyword Vanish. This is a new keyword, by the way. There's only 3 cards that have this, I believe, at this current moment. So in the next set, there's likely more to come. But Vanish: when your opponent chooses this character for an action, banish it. So any card that says choose a character, you choose any of these, they get removed they go to the discard. So but it has a great effect that gives you instant value. When you play this character, you may choose and discard a card to gain 2 lore. So in this color pairing, where there's more uninkables, you're getting an immediate payoff just by playing this card to progress your game state to win. So Vanish is supposed to be a keyword that is a downside to kind of keep overstated cards in check, but you're getting instant value off this card. So fantastic. I think this is going to see play already in this specific deck color combo. Another steel card I want to talk about is this 5 cost inkable Vajra, Guardian Jaguar, 4 strength, 3 willpower. It has bodyguard, and it has the effect of you got to be brave during your opponent's turn. Whenever this character is banished, deal 2 damage to each opposing character. So it also quests for 2. This is a hard counter to Maui because a Maui will swing at it, knock this out. It'll take 4 damage plus 2 to everything else on your opponent's board. Con, just like anything, removal exists. And another thing to consider is that like we could try to soften the blow of like if you see a Vajra on the board, you can use your smaller characters to kind of take it out. And then like sure, you'll take damage across all the other characters, but you're already like losing advantage, or it's like small body challenges that would have been traded anyways. So that's something to consider on how to counterplay this kind of. Another insane card I would think for this set is Gantu, Experienced Enforcer, 4 cost uninkable card, 2 strength, 4 willpower, and it has 2 effects. Also has the keyword Alien and Captain, and I think those are pretty relevant effects, especially the Captain, because that's good for Smee. Close all channels. When you play this character, characters can't exert to sing songs until the start of your next turn. Let me just sing my songs, please. That's all I care about. I don't like floodgates, but whatever. Don't get any ideas is the other effect. Each player pays 2 more ink to play actions or items. This does not apply to singing songs, so they were pretty keen on adding that specifically. I mean, the ability stack. So if there's 2 on the board, 3 on the board, that's an extra 2 cost per copy. Do note that this affects all players and it's not just your opponent. So I mean, if you're not singing songs, I'm not singing songs, so I guess that's maybe fair, but that's like my whole deck when I play Amber Steel. All right, so yeah, but let's go ahead and talk about the best Enchanted in the set. So I put Aurora Awakening Beauty. It's, of course, we talked about it before. Pros, Steel Song best deck, of course. So there's that. And then cons, as always, rip my wallet and susceptible to Madame Medusa. So yeah, everybody, I just want to say thank you again so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was insightful for you. If you guys are interested in any of these cards, please consider using my TCG player affiliate link in the description box below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more Lorcana videos. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out of here.